love and sex and death. And this element of introduction means we move quite easily from the tragic to the comic, as I hope some of these I will now read will show you. What do you say to the girl, 17, with a straining shirt, who has just discovered Marla? Best of all, be called away by the police about your wife. Failing that, try the sort of smile that goes sideways, or in any case, nowhere near the shirt. If your mouth won't do the smile, kick one leg sharply many times with the foot of the other. Aim at a clean fracture. While waiting for the stretcher, on no account discuss gardens, apples, reptiles, or what comes between Marla and Bath. Page 20, archive. In my file, she is 18, rapier slim, keen on tapestry, face not yet written on, and won't let me because she wants to be a nun. Her own file deals briefly with a nervous talker, might become a priest, might take ascetic vows, but would like to try it once at least. Meeting middle-aged over squares of cheese at that sort of party, we smile open-ended, and though nothing much is said, agree to leave our records unamended. Still on the same theme, one which is not in your book, I'm afraid, but I've been instructed to read it. You insisted. It's called To Start With. If you insist on remembering and telling us, do remember all of it. For instance, that right from the start, among her glories, you noticed her way of fidgeting when she talked, and her penetrating laugh. Or as you saw him, adored him, that even then he didn't listen, and there was that emptiness behind his eye. Then we trust the rest of it, that something, not for long, but that something beat the odds, and indeed you dropped your guard, took off your lying spectacles, and settled, each of you, for what you saw. The next moves on to a different theme. Some of Waltham's poems deal ostensibly with an animal in the foreground, but something else in the background, which is the real poem. Something in the sky, something in ourselves. This one is called Survivor, and is a clear reference to a much feared apocalypse, which hung over the 60s and 70s, and indeed most of the 80s. Survivor, page 24, sorry. Eating machine with clockwork eyes, strut waddling like a maddening toy, and all the colour of 5 days dead. Scavenge thing, belfry spoiler, berry gobbler, mindless flapping shit dispenser, carrier of messages that can only be bad, ubiquitous, unlovable, unkillable pigeon. Well, a spy from the off-white kingdom we shall not be here to know. But in concrete waste, and not another creature living, be sure he will be there, scratching at banknotes, briefcases, photographs, spectacles, peering witless at the copper sky.
Good reader.
But there are one or two I would like to read, and after that it's going to be old John that finishes off, I do believe. Isn't it, John?
How I follow two messages, Brian, I don't know.
Anyway.
Don't forget Dennis.
Oh yes! Sorry! Sorry! Sorry. To introduce this very last session, which is one of a valediction and regret and farewell. Here is my old friend, and may I explain that the beginning of regret and valediction is farewell to your fantasies.
I haven't said farewell to my fantasies.
Come on, Dennis.
Here is Dennis.
Stand up, Dennis.
Stand up and project your voice as best you can.
On the chair.
On the chair.
Tell us what page you're on. It's page 55. It's called, I'm not sure why, but it's called Getting Unstraightened. And this really is one of my favourite poems. But alas, it's the only one I'm allowed to read. But it's my, I think I can say it's my favourite. Oh girls, my shadowy troop, back to your airy boxes. It's time for you to go, for lifelong passion which real girls never show. It's small thanks, I know, but costs run high, and I must learn to live in frugal fashion. Farewell, Julia, your tigerish need, the things you said, your single-minded earthiness have kept me sane many a night alone in bed. Ah, Jane, still shadows under your eyes I see, and still boxed in, but what times we have had, examining your hopeless love for me. And Teresa, virgin forever unexplored despite our many married nights, priestess of the art of never getting bored. You too, kinky Carla, you must go with the rest, but cheer up, for sheer gorgeous punishment, you were always by far the best. Elsa, stop snivelling. Jenny, don't sulk. Maria, put down that axe. And Lisa, Wendy, Anna, all you others, thank you for pleasure in unlikely places, office desk and library, airport lounge and wagon-lit, breathless meetings I never would have had, enchantment borrowed from other faces. Shelved like this in your prime, believe me, girls, I would not wish it so. But costs are high and funds are low. Back to your boxes, it's time to go.
No wonder you don't want to get off your fantasies.
Which can be quite short between caring with all the mistakes that caring makes and the end of all caring. You can tell when it's arrived. You can walk past the girl made for you, hoping there is someone made for her, and then go back to what you were thinking, if you can remember what you were thinking. High water, you tell yourself, as each throw of the wave doesn't quite reach the last up the beach. It's helpful to look closely at the sand. There are all sorts of small good things in sand. That's up there. Time is running out, but there is one that I would like to read, if only because yesterday was the 95th birthday of my mother. And this is called Bedside. Under her face there are others. The strong widow, glad he went quickly. The first look at my girl, enormous bedtime go to sleep. A lovely glance from the honeymoon album. The solemn miss among studio roses. The sepia 2-year-old with a rag elephant. They are learning something new. Not stop, not death, but night that won't be night. Day for the hopeless luggage. Time that comes sideways and jokey, tripping up the words. Enough to clutch a hand, a toy in the sheet, a kiss for quickly, for go to sleep.